Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of our English Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Jake, and I'm so excited that you're here with me today. Whether you are just starting to learn English or you've been learning for a while, this episode is going to help you take your English speaking skills to the next level. Today, we are going to talk about something very important. Think smart, speak fluent. You might be wondering, what does that really mean? Well, it means that the way you think in English can have a big effect on how easily and confidently you speak. If you learn to think smartly, your English will become more natural, faster, and fluent. We all know that speaking English can sometimes feel difficult. Maybe you get stuck in the middle of a sentence, or you translate everything from your native language, which slows you down. Don't worry. Today, I'm going to share simple and practical tips that will help you train your mind to think in English, speak more smoothly, and sound more confident. So, whether you're at home, on a walk, or even on your way to work or school, get ready to learn some powerful techniques that you can start using today. By the end of this episode, you'll understand exactly how to think smart in English and speak fluent English naturally. All right, let's get started and discover how thinking smart can change the way you speak English. All right, so now let's talk about what it really means to think smart when learning English. Thinking smart doesn't mean you have to be a genius. It just means you are using your brain in the best way to speak English easily and confidently. Many English learners make the mistake of translating every word from their own language into English. For example, if you want to say, "I am going to the market," you might first think in your language, then try to translate each word. This takes a lot of time, and sometimes your sentence can sound strange. That's why translating is slow, and it can make speaking English stressful. Thinking smart means your brain starts forming ideas directly in English, without translation. It means you focus on simple sentences, use words you already know, and picture what you want to say. For example, if you see a cat, instead of thinking, "The cat is on the roof," in your language first, you just think in English. "The cat is on the roof." Your brain goes straight to English. This is thinking smart. Another way to think smart is to plan your ideas before you speak. You don't have to think about every word. Just know what you want to say and let the words come naturally. For example, if someone asks, "How was your day?" you already have a simple idea in your mind like, "It was good. I studied English and went for a walk." Then, your sentence comes out smoothly without pauses. So, in short, thinking smart is about training your brain to work in English, not translating, and keeping things simple. And when you do this, speaking English becomes easier, faster, and more natural. Now that we understand what it means to think smart, let's talk about how thinking and speaking are connected. You see, the way you think in English has a direct effect on how fluent you can speak. When you try to speak without thinking in English first, your brain has to do two things at the same time: think in your native language and translate to English. This is why many learners pause, forget words, or make mistakes. It's like trying to run two races at the same time. It slows you down. But when you train your brain to think in English, speaking becomes much easier. Your ideas flow naturally, your sentences come out quickly, and you feel more confident. For example, if you want to describe your morning, instead of translating, you just think, "I wake up at 7, I brush my teeth, I eat breakfast." Then you speak exactly what you thought. No pauses, no confusion. Thinking in English also helps you remember words and phrases better. When your brain is used to connecting ideas in English, it's easier to form sentences, respond in conversations, and even understand what others say. Basically, smart thinking builds a bridge between your thoughts and your words. So, the key idea is simple. If your thoughts are in English, your speaking becomes fluent. Your brain is your most powerful tool for English fluency. Train it well, and speaking English will feel natural and stress-free. Now, let's talk about some of the common challenges English learners face. Don't worry, these are normal, and almost everyone goes through them. The good news is, once you understand them, it's much easier to overcome them with smart thinking. The first challenge is translating everything from your native language. As we talked about earlier, this slows you down and makes speaking stressful. You spend too much time thinking about words instead of speaking naturally. The second challenge is hesitation and lack of confidence. Many learners know the words but pause too much because they are afraid of making mistakes. This hesitation breaks the flow of conversation and makes speaking feel harder than it really is. The third challenge is focusing too much on grammar. Yes, grammar is important, but thinking too much about rules can stop you from speaking freely. You might know the perfect grammar, but if your sentence is slow or unnatural, people may struggle to understand you. The fourth challenge is forgetting simple words or phrases during conversation. This happens when your brain is overloaded, thinking about grammar, translating, and forming sentences all at once. But here's the key. All these challenges can be solved by thinking smart. When you train your mind to think in English, focus on simple sentences and practice regularly. Your confidence grows, hesitation disappears, and speaking becomes easier and more fluent. Remember, facing these challenges is completely normal. The important thing is to keep practicing and use smart thinking techniques that we will talk about next. All right, now comes one of the most important parts of today's episode: practical techniques to think smart in English. These are simple strategies you can start using today, and they will make speaking English much easier and more natural. Technique 1. Think in small sentences. Many learners try to make long, complicated sentences, but this slows you down. Instead, focus on short and simple sentences. For example, if you want to talk about your morning, don't think, "I woke up, brushed my teeth, had breakfast, and then got ready for school." Instead, break it into small parts. I woke up, I brushed my teeth, I had breakfast, I got ready. Small sentences are easier to think, easier to speak, and sound natural. Technique 2. Use simple words. You already know. Don't worry about learning complicated words all at once. Focus on using words you know. For example, instead of saying, "I am exhilarated," you can simply say, "I am very happy." Your brain works faster when you use familiar words, and your sentences come out smoothly. Technique 3. Visualize what you want to say. This is a very powerful technique. Close your eyes and picture the scene in your mind. For example, if you want to describe your room, imagine it in your mind: the bed, the table, the books. Then think, "My room is clean. I have a big bed. I have many books." Visualizing helps your brain form English sentences naturally without translating. Technique 4. Practice inner dialogue. Talking to yourself in English is one of the best ways to think smart. You can describe what you are doing, your plans, or even your feelings. For example, when cooking, you can say, I am cutting vegetables. I am cooking rice. I need some salt. This trains your brain to think in English every day, and soon, speaking English will feel natural. Technique 5. Ask yourself simple questions. During the day, ask yourself small questions in English. What am I doing now? What do I want to eat? How do I feel today? Then answer in English. This helps your brain create a habit of thinking in English. So when you speak to others, your sentences come automatically. Remember, the key to thinking smart is consistency. Start small, use these techniques daily, and your English will improve faster than you think. Don't worry about mistakes. Thinking smart is about practicing, not being perfect. Now that we know how to think smart, let's talk about how to practice speaking English fluently. Thinking smart is important, but if you don't practice speaking, it's hard to become fluent. The good news is, there are simple exercises you can do every day, and you don't need a partner to practice. Exercise 1. Talk about your daily routine. Every day, describe what you do in simple English. For example, I wake up at 7. I brush my teeth. I eat breakfast. I go to school. Talking about your daily life helps your brain practice forming sentences naturally. Exercise 2. Describe your surroundings. Look around and describe what you see in English. For example, if you are in your room, say, I see a chair, I see a table, I see my books. This is a simple way to practice thinking and speaking at the same time. Exercise 3. Record yourself. Use your phone to record yourself speaking English. You can talk about your day, your hobbies, or any topic you like. Then, listen to yourself and notice where you can improve. Recording helps you hear your mistakes, improve pronunciation, and build confidence. Exercise 4. Speak to yourself. Even if no one is around, talk to yourself in English. You can ask yourself questions and answer them. What will I eat today? I will eat rice and vegetables. This trains your brain to respond in English automatically. Exercise 5. Use simple stories. Tell a small story in English. For example, describe what you did yesterday. Yesterday, I went to the park. I saw my friend. Storytelling improves your ability to think and speak in English naturally. Remember, the key is consistency. Just 10 to 15 minutes of speaking practice every day can make a huge difference. Don't worry about mistakes. Just speak, practice, and your fluency will grow naturally. Now, let's talk about some common mistakes English learners make and how you can easily avoid them. Even when you think smart and practice a lot, these mistakes can slow your progress. But the good news is, they are easy to fix. Mistake 1. Overcomplicating sentences. Many learners try to use long or complicated sentences to sound smart. For example, instead of saying, I am tired, they say, I am feeling somewhat exhausted at the moment. This can make speaking slow and confusing. Solution: keep your sentences short and simple. Simple English is powerful and clear. Mistake 2. Pausing too much. Pausing often because you are thinking about grammar or words is very common. It breaks the flow of conversation. Solution: focus on small sentences and think in English. Don't wait for perfect words. Just speak what comes to mind. Mistake 3. Forgetting simple words. Sometimes you know the word but forget it under pressure. Solution: practice daily. Talk to yourself. and use words you already know confidently. Repetition will help you remember. Mistake 4. Fear of making mistakes. Many learners stop speaking because they are afraid of errors. Remember, making mistakes is part of learning. Solution: speak confidently and see mistakes as a step toward improvement. The more you speak, the better you get. By being aware of these common mistakes and following these simple tips, you will speak English more fluently, confidently, and naturally. Before we finish today's episode, I want to give you some motivation and encouragement. Learning English is not always easy, and it's normal to face challenges along the way. But remember, every small step you take brings you closer to fluency. Don't worry if you make mistakes. That's how you learn. The key is to keep practicing, keep thinking in English, and stay consistent. Even just 10 or 15 minutes a day of speaking and thinking smart can make a big difference over time. Also, remember that confidence is built gradually. The more you speak, the more comfortable you become. Don't compare yourself with others. Focus on your own progress and celebrate small victories. Every sentence you speak in English is a success. So, keep practicing, stay positive, and trust yourself. Your English will improve, and one day, speaking fluently will feel natural and easy. You have everything it takes to succeed. You just need patience, practice, and smart thinking. All right, everyone. Let's quickly recap today's episode. We learned how to think smart in English, why it's important for speaking fluently, and simple techniques you can use every day. Remember, think in small sentences. Use words you already know. Visualize what you want to say. Practice speaking daily, even to yourself. Don't fear mistakes. Confidence comes with practice. If you start applying these tips consistently, your English speaking will improve faster than you expect. Thank you so much for listening today. Keep practicing, stay positive, and remember, think smart, speak fluent. See you in the next episode.